Oh, praise the Lord. So I'm back again. I'm running out of minutes on this. Megabytes on my phone. I'm going to have to try to see if I can use my Apple on here next time, Lord bless. But anyway, I thank the Lord for the spirit of prayer because it takes the Lord to save us, the Word of God to save us, take the Word of God to keep us, and instant in prayer and out of prayer. Be instant in prayer, because, like I said before, you don't have to be in a fixed position to pray to the Lord. Like our Sunday school lesson, Habakkuk, he was talking to the Lord just like Jonah did, and he wanted to know how come the Lord was letting all this happen, and on the earth, people just doing whatever they want to do, treating people bad. So Habakkuk had a problem with why the Lord, he had prayed and prayed and prayed and asked the Lord, and the Lord seeing all this, he letting the Lord know, you see all this, you see everything that's going on. Just like today, the Lord see everything that's going on, but some men and some women think that, the Lord is delaying his coming and he needs to just do something about these sinners that's doing all this here. You can't hurry God. He gonna do everything he do is decent and in order. And he's a patient God. He said he's not willing that any should perish, but have everlasting life. But it's up to us what the destination that we want. You know, how are you living for your destination? So, concerning that coronavirus, I was looking at it on TV. Yes, I do watch TV. I thank the Lord for the TV. I watch the TV. The TV don't watch me. The TV be watching you when you don't feel asleep in it. You've been in front of the TV all day and half the night, and the TV is watching you and you sleep. But I just thank the Lord. There's nothing wrong with watching the TV. To me, as long as you're watching something that's educational, as the TV is educational and it's very informative. Even Facebook, to me, is more informative than the news is, because you see a lot of things on Facebook that they don't even show it on TV, and even on my phone. I get the news on my phone, and it don't show it on TV, and it's sad the way the world is going. But the Lord said, "Don't let any of this trouble you," you know. And I just thank the Lord for His word to let me know, don't let it trouble me. Like this coronavirus, it seems like it's troubling some. Some people, they not even thinking about their neighbor. I mean, what can 196 rolls of toilet tissue? You can't use it all in one day. I'm wondering what kind of virus this is, where people running for toilet tissue like it's gold, and then fighting over water, and you got running water in your house. Turn that faucet on. If you don't trust the water in your house, boil it. Because they send out boil water notices. I work for a water company. As a matter of fact, I manage a water company. But just go ahead and boil your water. Boil a whole bunch of it at one time, and then put them in containers and stuff. That's the best way you can do it. How you think they get that water purified? They don't purify that water. Just put some You want some chemical water. But the one that come out your sink is the same thing. It's chemical water. They treat it too. We have a little plant, and that we treat our water too. But if you don't trust it, boil it. Save it up. Why waste your money on bottled water? They have recall on bottled water. But I've seen that just hoarding. People just hoarding all that toilet tissue for their one self. That's people that living in fear. That, like say, well, I'm going to stay in the house. Well, how do you know how somebody that touched their toilet tissue didn't have coronavirus? I said, I know. I shop I go to yard sales. Definitely go to yard sales. So I said, I'll see some of them packages in the yard sale. Because, it's not even, they haven't even found out. Anybody can be, not have the symptoms, they said, and have coronavirus. So if you don't know you have it, and you don't feel none of the symptoms that they say, but you can still have it. Let's pray for y'all keep them in prayer for the scientists or whatever, so that they can help the people, open up their understanding and bless the work of their hands, and open up their knowledge and wisdom on how to fix it. Pray for your sister or brother that's sick. First thing you want to do is run them on to the hospital and let them tell them they don't even have the stuff for the check for it, that they have it. But pray for them, pray for the people that you hear that have it. God he's an answering God. And you ain't hearing nothing about prayer nowhere. The most thing you're hearing about is people who are going trying to buy some toilet tissue. Toilet tissue. You hoarding toilet tissue like don't nobody else in the world need none but you. You thinking about your own self. And that's being selfish. That's being very selfish. And I'm going to read to you today. I know our Sunday school is on Habakkuk 2 and 6 through 14. But I'm going to read to you something from Luke 12 and 13. And it says it's the parable of the rich fool. Because we got a lot of rich fools out there. And just because you have money, you don't have everything. It's just like this preacher was saying the other day about how rich folks don't gossip. They so busy. No, they don't gossip. They trying to hold on to the riches that they have. And to me, they do gossip because they talk about the poor. Like, well, it don't take all that. They don't have to do this here. They don't have to live like that. When you really don't know what their situation is. And the Lord said, the poor you have with you always. But the Lord looks on those that do look on the poor and do have compassion for the poor. If you don't have the compassion for the poor, then there's something wrong with you. Okay? And not only just the poor, even just because he's a policeman and a fireman, that don't mean that they rich. But we have to pray for them, and because they in need too. A fireman has to stay there on his job 2 or 3 days in a row away from his family. So pray for him, the firemen and their families, because they could get in a fire and not come back home, just like the police, just like our soldiers over there. Keep them up in prayer before the Lord. Okay, it says in the parable of the rich fool, this is Luke 12 and 13. This is where it starts. It says, and one of the company said unto him, Master, speak to my brother that he may divide the inheritance with me. And he said unto him, this is what Jesus said unto him, man, who made me a judge or divider over you? Who made me that? I don't work with the court system. The Lord, he works with the laws of the land. So if the laws of the land, go to the laws of the land, render to Caesar, whoever working for Caesar, go and tell them. The Lord could have told him, but he's not there for that, to divide the inheritance. He's just there to tell them how to be about getting your inheritance, which is he said. And he said unto him, and he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness. He was coveting wanting a part of his brother's land. But all the inheritance went to him, but he wanted part of it. He said, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisted not in abundance, in the abundance of the things which he possessed. Your life, because this materialistic stuff, it faded away. It rots. You can have it today and be gone tomorrow. The Lord can take it in a twinkling of an eye. Next thing you know, it's a tornado done hit your house and done destroyed everything you have, and then you have to start from rock bottom. But you weren't thinking about people before then. But then them same poor people, a poor person will give quicker than a rich person. You have all these rich people in the world. When a tornado hit, it's the one that lived in that city that really goes to try to help. And they do get support from some rich people, but the majority of the rich people that can help build the whole city itself, oh no, they ain't about to give up no money for that. They ain't finna give up their riches for that. But they just have it stored up in stocks and bonds instead of helping their neighbor. People give you clothes. When you get a burnout, you can look for clothes and shoes and very little money. And you can understand that because people got their own bills. But when you when you help somebody else, you even feel the richness in your soul. The Lord let you feel good when you help people. Some people do. Some people just, that this is mine. I worked hard for it to get it. But you're not thinking that, Lord, he could let you could die in your sleep. He can send that death angel to let go and take him on. He's too into his possessions, like Nahor was. He didn't want to feed David. David then was protecting his land for him while he was out somewhere. Who knows where that was? But when he did come home, and David asked for some food, just for some food to feed him, said, because we've been watching your land for you. Oh, the man told me, I don't know you. I don't know nothing about you, who you are, or nothing. No, I'm not sending you nothing. And so David, him and his troops, his men, they got on their horses. They was finna go kill Nahor, take his land, take everything he had. They could have did that from the beginning. But one of the servants told his wife, Abigail, said that David had came and asked for some food, and said Nahor wouldn't give it to him. Nahor was rich, but he wouldn't give it to him. So she said told him what to put on those asses that they had. That's what they called donkeys back in there. They call them asses now. So you can take it or leave it. You can say I'm cussing or not, but that's what they call them. And she loaded him up, and she went towards David, and she mounted off of that horse, and she knelt down and because she knew David was finna come and kill him. That means kill her too, because she was of his household. Back in the day, they killed everybody that was of the household. If the dad, the head of the household did something wrong, the wife didn't even have to know nothing about it. They come and kill them all, kill their cattle, burn their house. Nothing to remind them anybody of that person. So she was on her way, and she stopped him, and he blessed her. He said, because of her, he didn't try to get revenge for himself instead of waiting on the Lord to get revenge. And he thanked her for stopping him from coming to kill people, because to get his own revenge. So you can be saved, but a sinner can't come up and know more than you do in certain things. They can stop you in certain things. Don't think you're so saved till you can't even eat around a sinner. You can't talk around a sinner. No, we're all sinners saved by grace, trying to make it in. You just one that was called and chosen for that particular time. But never think yourself above them. Let the Lord thank you above them. Okay, so then when she went back and she told him what she had done, he died right then. He died right then with his selfishness. He died right then. And when David heard of it, he came and he got Abigail and he married her. I said, she must have been a good-looking woman. I don't know. David was looking at her when she came and brought that. He probably said, I probably would have saved you, killed your husband, and brought you on anyway. But anyway, because that's what some people get when they get a whole lot of stuff. They don't want to share it. Even hoarders don't want to share. And they ain't got no money. But they probably have riches in their house and don't know it. I know one looked on Horrrice, and they had a yard sale for all the stuff that she had in there, and they only sold half of it and made over thousands of dollars. But she was hoarding it all, living like a poor person. I don't know what caused people to hoard, but I know when you grow up and when you're young and you don't have things, when you grow up, you make sure that you have it, because you didn't have it coming up. So I'm going to go finish this one here, and it says, take heed, beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisted not in the abundance of the things which he possessed. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plenty. He was already rich, and his land brought forth plenty. And back in the day, the Lord said, when you plant a garden, save a corner of it for the poor folks. See, the Lord loves it when you take care of the poor folks. So he said, and he thought within himself, saying, this is what he said within himself, what shall I do? Because I don't have any room, no room where to bestow my fruits. Now I got to think of something to bestow my fruits. Go and give it away to those that don't have. And a lot of times you can look at, well, I worked hard to get what I have. Did nobody help me to get it? That's help somebody else, and you'll be blessed even more abundantly. And he thought within himself to bestow my fruits. And he said, this is what I'm going to do. I will pull down my barns, which was nothing wrong with his barns, and build greater. I'm gonna build them larger and higher, so that way I can store them all in there. He said, and there will I'll bestow all my fruits and my goods, all his fruits and his goods. He's not thinking about it's gonna be perishable, because fruits do perish, but he's thinking about himself. How can he survive? I don't know about nobody else, but I know I'm gonna survive because I got money to do this here. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Now they just laying toilet tissue up. They said that the trucks won't be running for 2 weeks. Walmart truck, I don't care what you say, Walmart